It's another unboxing day, a mystery box here in Studio Takes, and today I think I know what's in the box. If it is what I think, at least one of the things in there that I think it is, then this will probably be recorded in a couple of takes. The first take will be unboxing, and the second will happen after I have implemented and put it into use. But let's go ahead and open this up today, and we'll see what we have. This came from Amazon. And it was the result of something that I had thought about doing. Just kind of, you get an idea for something, and then you want to see if you can make it happen, and whether it's feasible or whether it's going to be practical and so forth. And so here is the first of the items. Let's see which this is here. Okay, now that's just an adapter, a power adapter, so we don't need to mess with that. And then there is this. Okay, this is part of the equation here. That's an adapter also, but not a power adapter. And then there is this. Good. Okay. You move this up a little bit. That is a mic stand, basically, but it's not going to be used quite like a mic stand, and we'll talk about that. I got a whole box of boxes of USB sticks, so that's what those are. At least I hope they are. But this is the interesting part right here. This and that. Okay. Well, we know what a mic stand looks like, so let's look at the more complicated beast. By the way, you'll notice I have an iPhone sitting here on its cradle. Boy, the light is bad here. You can't really tell what anything is. Yeah, I can kind of see it there now, but the light is not good here. That enters into this also. Okay, let's actually open this up. I love little mic stands like this. I like anything about microphones. You probably know that about me by now. And here is the part that the mic goes on. We'll set that aside just for now. The most important thing about these desk-type stands, hefty-dutiness. And this is a really nice, heavy metal base. I won't let it clunk down as hard as it could clunk down, but it could clunk down hard because it's heavy. This is a good thing because you want stability. And then we have this part here that screws onto the base. It's all feeling nice and sturdy. I like that. And there's the adjustment there for the top part. And I will have to try and sort of figure this part out. This is where I thought maybe I'll have to actually do this in a couple of phases. Now I lost my cutter. You probably saw me put it down, and you know where it is. There it is. So why I don't like to work on mechanical things. I mean, I've done some stuff like that, but I'm always setting tools down, setting parts down, and then looking around and going, oh, now what did I do? Where did that go? Okay, here are the different parts of it. Now I have to go into these little bags. Bags and bags. Much as they want to talk about how they try to do everything in an environmental way these days, they still use an awful lot of packaging. Packaging within packaging within packaging. Even Apple, which claims to be so environmentally conscious, sometimes it's remarkable how much packaging they use. And I'm not a real big, shield banger when it comes to about all that stuff, but it just seems to me that some of this could be done a little more economically, a little less material involved. And I'll have some figuring to do. So I'm going to stop now in my recording until I get this part sussed out. And then once I do, I'll come back and hopefully we'll have a surprise. Okay, a little time has gone by since I did the first part of that video because I suddenly realized I had to do a live Skype conference with a German company that has me doing a voiceover for a company. And so we spent some time on the phone. He in his time zone, 8 hours ahead of me, so it was kind of late for him because it's mid-afternoon here. But he held in there with me, and we were able to get that done. And now I'm able to get back to it here. It took me a few minutes to figure out, and I was looking at it and thinking, this can't go together. But then all of a sudden I realized, yes, it can. And then it did. So we're fine, and we've got it constructed. What you're looking at right now is a picture of the camera that I've been using right along here. This is the Logitech little camcorder that I've been shooting with, or camcorder, webcam, that I've been shooting with when I've been doing my studio takes thus far. And it requires a certain amount of color correction. It's not the world's best looking camera. Surprising, I think, for the money. I thought it was going to be a little better than it was. And so I was never totally happy with that. And the other thing is that if I wanted to do anything more than just a straight shot at me or to grab that camera and kind of swing it around, there was no real way for me to present more than just the view from that camera. So what I did was to order the pedestal and the stand and to hook up the following. Now, what we're viewing, as I mentioned, is the camera that I've been using right along. But how is it that you're able to look at this? Well, the answer is that there's another camera now. Okay, so here comes the second camera. There it is. Okay, so there is the new camera. And as you can see, actually, what it is my iPhone. So the view here is the view from my iPhone of this camera. And the iPhone is being shown by this camera. So the two are looking at each other, pointed at each other. And so that's how we're able to see this split screen of the two of them. And what this adapter does is it allows you to connect your iPhone to a mic stand. That was the whole point of this thing, and that's what I was waiting for to come in the mail, and that's what came today. And then the other thing is, how do you get your iPhone camera into the Mac? And the answer is just using a lightning cable and an app that is compatible with the OBS software that I use for recording and streaming, and which a lot of the other people who you see doing Facebook Live and other presentations use for recording and streaming. It's called OBS, and it's a free program. There is a very inexpensive app to go along with that program that can run in iOS on the iPhone, and that turns the camera into a feed that goes down the cable and into the Mac and makes it another source so that it's available to OBS just like this is available to OBS. So I have two camera sources then that I can use. All right, so that's basically it. And so I'm happy to see that everything came together. I really had my doubts at first whether I was going to get this baby to construct. And the other thing is that this clamp here is spring-loaded, and it is wicked strong clamp. I don't think it's going to damage the iPhone, but man, it's not something you're going to easily get out of there. It's certainly not going to slip out on its own. But the other thing now is that I have to decide which camera I'm going to use as my on-cam for me. And I think it's going to end up being the iPhone. This one, if we swing it around toward me here, you'll see that the color is a little off right now, and I think that a little color correction is not going to be a big difficulty to resolve that. Right now it has a little bit of a kind of a pinkish look, a little tomato soup look. No, I do not normally look this pink. On the other hand, this camera here, which shows just how much I need to comb my hair, is pretty green. It's just by default, it's kind of green. So you can see the difference in the two cameras. And so I have to decide which I'm going to go with. And I think it's going to be the iPhone camera. It's a little better definition, a little cleaner. And so that's probably the direction I'm going to go on that. We'll have to see for sure. But the nice thing is that from now on, I can decide which camera I'm going to be addressing. and I can use one camera to look at, say, even to position my hands, to gesture, whatever, or to do my unboxings while I'm on camera, and so on. So just a kind of a fun new toy, and in addition to the studio here, one more tax write-off. And so that's it for today. This has been Studio Takes. Thank you very much for joining me. I have to get used to addressing both cameras here, right? So thank you very much for joining me today, and we'll see you on the next edition of Studio Takes.
You give me a call.
Hello.
Hello?
Hello, I think.
Hello, cutie pie.
Until I heard the voice, I'd never done a crazy thing in my whole life.
Goodbye.